Welcome trainers, my name is Blake and today we've got Decidueye, the physical long-ranged attacker that has entered into Unite. In today's video you can expect to see each and every ability this Pokemon learns. We're going to get a nice build for what moves you should select, what items you should equip, and a few tips for where you should go in the lanes and etc. Now let's jump straight in and we're going to start by looking at Decidueye's passive, which is Long Reach. This is just the fact that you deal increased damage to more distant enemies, so this makes perfect sense for an Archer type Pokemon. You want to be farther away. Also, we have Decidueye's boosted basic attack, which increases the speed of basic attacks for a short time after one hits. This effect can stack, and with every third activation of this effect, basic attacks become boosted for a short time. These boosted attacks fire more quills, but the damage dealt by each quill is decreased. So a slightly different way that this Pokemon's attacks get boosted, you need to effectively hit 3 stacks of basic attacks on an enemy, and then all your attacks become boosted for a short time. So pretty unique, pretty interesting. But let's get on into the moves, which is what we really want to get to. At level 1, you should pick up Leapage to hit both of those APOMs, and Leapage says, pelts leaves in the designated direction, dealing damage to enemies hit. For a short time after using this move, Decidueye's attack and basic attack speed are increased. Now at level 3 we should pick up Astonish, which simply is a sure hit move which deals damage to enemies and decreases their movement speed for a short time. Very simple but effective move here at level 3. Now, Decidueye is a Pokemon that gets his moves very late, and so we don't actually see a move upgrade all the way until level 7, even though we evolve into a Dartrix at level 5. So at level 7, we're going to get our first option, which is Razor Leaf. Summons whirling Razor Leaves. For a short time after using this move, Decidueye's attack and basic attack speed are increased, and basic attacks can target multiple enemies for a short time. At level 11, increases the basic attack damage the higher the enemy's remaining HP is. Our other option at level 7 is Spirit Shackle. Charges power before firing quills in the designated direction. Damage dealt increases the longer power is charged, but movement speed is decreased while charging. If this move hits after power is charged to maximum, it can stitch enemies to the ground. The affected Pokemon receives damage upon moving a set distance from the location, and their movement speed is decreased for a short time. At level 11, this upgrades to deal increased damage to enemies with low remaining HP. Now immediately after that, at level 8, we get our next upgraded move, and we're going to first take a look at Leaf Storm. Creates a tempest of sharp leaves, dealing damage to enemies it hits, and decreases their movement speed for a short time. At point blank range, it also shoves enemies hit. At level 13, increases the length of time that the movement speed of enemies is decreased. Our other option at level 8 is Shadow Sneak. This creates a shadow that takes hold of one enemy in the area of effect, dealing damage and decreasing their movement speed and defense for a short time. Also increases Decidueye's movement speed for a short time, but at level 13, this further decreases defense of the Pokemon you hit. Now moving on at level 9, we do move on into the Unite move, where we get Knock Knock. Great name for a Unite move, and this fires quills in the designated direction, dealing damage to enemies. The move ends by unleashing a particularly large quill that deals damage to all enemies it hits. This move deals increased damage if the enemy's remaining HP is low. While using this move, Decidueye becomes immune to hindrances but is unable to move. So you are locked into place while you fire this essentially cannon of a move straight down at the enemies. Now let's start to take a look at the item build for this Pokemon. Being a physical attacker, a lot of these choices will not be a surprise. I think we're going to start off, in the first item that I recommend you pick up is just a Muscle Band. It's very simple. I believe it's going to work on all of these extra attacks you can potentially get from Razor Leaf. Muscle Band is just a great move, and then also we are going to pair that with a Scope Lens because Decidueye already has a 30% chance to do crits on his basic attacks once you get evolved high enough, and it's just going to pair really nicely with the scope lens. Now it'll be interesting to see what moves he has that can crit, and that might affect the build as we move forward with this Pokemon. And then for the third item slot, I think you've got two options. I think first off, if you're able to take the jungle, which is where this Pokemon probably belongs in that central lane, you probably want to go with Buddy Barrier. And this is simply for the fact that once you get to the late game and you use your Unite move, you are stable, so you're a little bit vulnerable to enemy attacks. And I think that Buddy Barrier is going to be a really nice touch. Now, if you are able to take this Pokemon in lane, which is something we'll have to see as we get into the later days with this Pokemon, is if you're going to lane, I recommend you take a Focus Band, particularly in the early game as a little Rowlet. It's going to be really nice to keep you alive, and so my recommended build is Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and then for the third slot, either putting in a Buddy Barrier or a Focus Band. Now, like I said, jumping into some lane talk about this Pokemon, because you are not getting your moves until such a late time at level 7 and level 8, the central area is likely going to be the place where this Pokemon needs to live. So we will see if its early game is strong enough to keep up in lane, but for now, try to take the central area if you can, and if you are stuck in lane, make sure you pick up that Focus Band to stay alive. Now, the best build for this Pokemon is as follows. The best build for this Pokemon is Razor Leaf plus Shadow Sneak. Now we have 2 grass moves and 2 ghost moves as an option, but we're going to mix those up, and here is why. Razor Leaf is the highest damage output for this Pokemon. It's going to give you extra basic attacks. It's pretty much just crazy. And also it's going to increase your basic attack damage once you reach level 11 based on enemies' HP, which is just very strong. Now also the reason we're picking up Shadow Sneak is because this Pokemon doesn't have a lot of mobility, but Shadow Sneak at least gives you the option to track down or to run away from Pokemon in a one-on-one setting, because it's going to decrease the movement speed of enemy Pokemons and it's going to increase your movement speed. So it's not a dash and it's not as good as a dash, but it is effective at helping you track people down, which if you're in the central lane as a jungler, that's something you're going to want to be able to do anyway. So pick up Razor Leaf at level 7, Shadow Sneak at level 8, and then once you hit level 9, you will be getting that awesome Unite move. Now, as we get into the days following this Pokemon, I will be updating this guide as we go. So this is a day 1 guide based on some predictions and my interpretation of the Pokemon. But be sure, if you want to check out what's going to appear and fill through in the meta, that you're subscribed to the channel. And if you want to go even deeper into the world of Unite, make sure you jump on the Pokemon Unite Discord, the Pokemon Unite Guides Discord rather, which the link will be in the description. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope if you're picking up Decidueye that your next battle will be your best one yet. Good luck out there, my friends.